more value for your money when you activate your Digicel Prime bundle. More choices for what you want at low prices. More talk time on the most reliable network. More any-use data for whatever you're into searching and sharing. And dedicated data for more new apps to stream your music, shows, and live sports. Activate a Digicel Prime bundle of your choice in the My Digicel app today and save more. Digicel, better connected.
Nice to be in orbit. thing. Matter of fact, we're supposed to be subtracting.
Good morning again, guys. Yeah, welcome to SipNchat with me, Azem, and of course Jade. When I see tomatoes, Stuart think it's Beyonce. Don't remember what I was supposed to add, Johnson.
Thank God.
I'll have
Thank
to.
the
Witty,
Lord
remind me, please.
for small mercies.
Remind me, please.
No, it's okay. I tell you, we're supposed to be subtracting at this point. So if you stay here, keep adding things to minimum.
Jade, what happened is you are a complex person. You're a complex being, Jade. You understand? And so, we can't subtract. You continue to evolve, and I'll continue to add. That's just what it is. I'll be little old Azem, and you'll continue to be whatever it is you evolve into. You understand? Alright guys, well, for those of you who are listening for the first time, thank you for joining us. Those of you who are joining us for the last time, thank you. Those of you who are constant supporters, big up yourself. And of course, those of you who are just peeping in to see if you're still doing this thing. All right, guys. Well, obviously we're having some issues with the camera this morning, but guess what? We'll talk to you while the Kingsters figure it out over in the King Club. All right. So yeah, let's get to it. Jade, how are you doing?
I am okay. I am okay.
Tell me about your day yesterday.
Well, it was just filled with meetings and mommying and work.
Meetings, mommying, and work.
That's usually what my weeks consist of. So I'm at in life now. Just
That's what your life looking like now?
it's quite sad, but we're chugging along.
No. Meetings, I hope, are meetings to either put money in your pocket or get closer to the money. Right?
I had one of those, and then I had a meeting with Jade in school, because, he's graduating soon.
Really? Mm-hmm. What public school are you thinking of sending him?
Well, he's going to Seventh Adventist.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. I approve.
Yes, so did the teachers over there.
Yeah?
Yeah, they like him.
So y'all had to
Well, the person that interviewed him liked him.
So it was... Oh, so yeah, tell me about that process. I'm curious about that process.
You just have to go and sit down with them, and they speak to you about what they expect, what some of the rules of the school is, how they run the school. Then they interact with your child. If you have any questions, you ask any questions. Jaden was very shy in the beginning, surprisingly, because, that's not in his vocabulary.
That what you think. But we all have those situations that are unfamiliar. And sometimes we feeling out the situation. So eventually he lightened up though.
Yeah, he did. He started interacting with the lady, and she was quite impressed because, he chats a lot. And he has a very big vocabulary for such a tiny person. So.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, that process though. I always find that process to be very... I've never gone through it, but just hearing about it...
Well, this was my first time, obviously.
But this is the thing too. I always wonder what it is that the interviewers are looking for. Because it's mystic to them come back and tell somebody, yeah, you try to make it here. It's like, what me 5-year-old do that ain't good enough for you?
Boy, that is a fact.
What my 5-year-old do that ain't good for you, that ain't good enough. Like how he fall short, how she fall short.
Do you know? Only the strong will survive.
Only the strong will survive.
I'm joking. I don't know what they look for, honestly, but yeah. Jaden was chosen to go to that school, and we're quite happy about it.
Yeah, close to home and everything. So that's
close to antiquity.
You're right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that definitely works out.
It does.
Well, I don't know. I think that is always such a big decision for parents. Like, I believe it wasn't such a big decision back in the day. I think it's becoming increasingly. Let me not say it wasn't such a big decision, but it doesn't feel as though parents make as much of a deal about it, like, before, as opposed to now. It was like, you live here, that's the school you're going to.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I feel happened, because I lived by Beach Island, so guess what school I went?
Yeah, but I think maybe at that time too, there wasn't this perceived, or there wasn't so much of a perceived difference between the schools. I think now we have a big enough sample size where
you could figure out.
People are starting to figure out, oh, this school have a really good kindergarten program. This school have a very good sports program. I hear some things about the children from this school. I know a couple of children from that school, and there was, so those maybe that's what it is, and it gives parents something else to consider now. Because I feel it was just a matter like, hey, which one you could walk to?
I feel like that's how it was for you. Which one you could literally reach to safely.
Yeah, it was either which one you could walk to or which one close to me work. And I think those are the big considerations. And then, of course, before that, it was private or public.
Yeah.
And sometimes, based on your socio-economic standing, that decision was already made for you.
Early. Early.
That decision was already made for you. But I think generally though, our primary schools are good.
Yeah, we got some good schools.
Yeah,
I can say our education system is one. It seems to be one of the best in the Caribbean because I've literally seen some. I've seen some children, well, adults. They were children. They had to go to primary school, and the things that they don't know, I'm like, well, what kind of education system I have? Like a lot of the Caribbean countries, singling out Jamaica, but you know Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to know certain things, and every time they post, we like, yeah, a different education system. No, like this thing don't went straight to the Caribbean. Yeah, it doesn't. Trust me, it does not.
I mean, I think there's some leeway between the countries, like the education departments in the different countries, the different approaches. I think, of course, just like in anything, the people that are involved have a big part to play. And in education, I think there's a lot of steps, a lot of people that impact the type of education that your child gets.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why great teachers are important, and it's important to find and take care and keep the teachers that you have, that you realize make an impact in kids' lives. Because truthfully, a lot of people, they just look at teaching as a job. They don't really put in the effort that they should, because they don't have the passion for it that somebody else would. Yeah. But if and the ones that are passionate, they're not treated as assets. They're just treated as is whatever. So then they leave, and then we lose the assets, and we lose the great teachers, and we lose the lessons that we were raised on because we couldn't teach them.
Yeah, but at the same time too, I believe that we have to find a balance. Because I think that as much as we feel like we got a decent education, I feel that there's a lot that needs to change.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The issue though is that when you have a lot of teachers who are unwilling to change, then that even if there's a desire to change from the higher ups, that don't generally filter down to the children.
Yeah.
Right? And it has to be something where we have not only good teachers, but people that understand that education in itself must evolve in order to keep up with an evolving world. So I had this conversation with somebody recently about I can't understand why we continually teach and spend time in class teaching children things that are searchable.
It's a good one.
Like, yeah, of course, we don't talk about like the fact that penmanship and cursive is a class.
That's just not.
And there's a waste of time. People don't even write anymore.
I fail to believe that's still a class, so let's not. I don't think so.
It is, but why are you teaching me to memorize things that are searchable? I don't understand it. I do not understand it. Why are you teaching me the capitals of every Caribbean country?
Nah.
Seriously, on a serious note.
I have no idea.
You want me to know the president, the prime minister of every Caribbean country? Why?
I will be able to keep up with the
They're changing almost every 2 months now.
2 years. 2 years.
Unless it's Nevis, it's every 7 weeks.
Well, Nevis don't know Jade. Nevis don't know Jade. They just have elections.
You stop there, you got things changing up over there. Till now I don't know who is leader of the opposition.
By the Let's just go with they have none currently.
No, but the point is, you are teaching me things that are searchable in a world that I'm surrounded by search engines. I don't even have to type anything. You ask me, so I have reason now, right? Moving through my life. For some strange reason, I need to know at this particular moment, who is the Prime Minister of Martinique? Or the governor, or whatever they have in Martinique.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know what I do? I don't even have to type anything.
No, just...
Hey, Google.
Yeah. Hey, Siri.
Hey, Siri.
Hey, Alexa.
You literally talk and the answers come to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do think we need to...
Like, so why are we
revisit
teaching?
our
Not only that, Jade. One, that information like we already discussed, changes all the time. So why am I being tested on it in school?
Exactly.
Right?
Like, why you teaching me this and then...
This is not a like, yeah, I don't understand. 2, like I said already, it's searchable. But 3, after then write it down and the next test, I don't forget about that day. How many of us remember them things? Like,
I remember why I learned it.
I hardly remember the capitals of the Caribbean countries, and I've been to all of them. like, I don't... So teach children like the skills,
the life skills that they need.
the life skill. You can't come out of school, you can't balance a checkbook. You don't know how to.
Lots of things you come out of school
You don't
not
know how
knowing.
to do. Like
And you're like,
skills.
why are you telling me this in school?
I don't know how to write. It's like just okay. We live in a technological world, and not children coming to school could code.
No, they're teaching us cursive instead of coding.
Just think about that. Just think about that for a second, Jade.
Yeah. No, I agree with you completely. Times change all the time, but the curriculum not changing to fit the times.
But the education system itself isn't set up for change.
Which is dumb.
It is not
It's
pliable.
the education. As if there's anything that should be set up for change, it should be the education system.
Yes, because the world is ever changing.
Yeah.
And so the skills necessary to prepare, the skills that you need to prepare someone to be effective in the world needs to constantly be changing.
Yeah, I don't know how this isn't like common sense. Or maybe it is, but they just don't.
As a matter of fact, I actually read sometimes when you start looking at what are the most the top indicators for successful people. One of them is adaptability, you know. One of them is people who are able to adapt and evolve, and that's one of the top indicators for success in life. We don't really encourage that.
No, we don't.
We don't really encourage that.
This is what we teach you. This is what you're supposed to go out into the world with, and this is what you need to stick to. And then we just lost.
But again, the education system, I think, is functioning based on the way it was designed and what it was designed to do, right? So it's almost like
the beginning.
But it's almost like as if you're asking, like, a hammer to function like a screwdriver. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's almost what we're doing. Like, it wasn't set up for that in the first place. So it's gonna take an entire paradigm shift, something else, something like, I don't even know if it's possible for what we term as the education system to be able to function in the way that we're speaking about. Because the goal was never to
function this way.
The goal was we need to sort people and we need to keep them busy. So I mean, if you ever hear like what the conversations were between like the Rothschilds when they were trying to figure out like the role of what the education system was going to be, it is crazy. But then it makes a lot of sense when you see how things function now.
Yeah.
I
guess they were onto something.
Google that. No, they didn't teach you that in school, but Google that. It's like in school they're telling you all these things and you just keep wondering, like, why I can't just Google this? Like, I couldn't understand in school. I couldn't understand in school why they didn't let us. Why when you use the tools that are available to you, they call it cheating.
You feel?
I could never understand that when I was in school. I done with school a while now, and I don't think you can come back to bite me. I used to cheat all the time.
Who never used to cheat?
No, but like cheating is one thing. I never used to do the look on people book answer thing. I ask people for the answers. I never do that there.
What used to do?
You know the black and white books we used to have? The back of the book always had the times table. I was not remembering the times table and the guy right there.
Yeah,
I wasn't filling up my brain with that there, Jade. I remember I had one teacher that used to no, I used to put it in the top of the lid of the geometry set. But
so you're just teaching these kids?
I remember I had one that's called ingenuity, Jade. Adaptability.
Indeed.
It's an indicator of success.
Indeed.
But I had this one teacher that used to line us up in the morning and make us every timetables before we go get in the class. When I just used to work out I'm going to just stay with you until you decide to let me in here because
Me doing that.
unless I get something that I'm multiplying by 2, 5 or 10, you know going on.
And you stressing me out on this first thing in the morning. I just reached school.
Like, I never even used to hurt my head. I never used to hurt my head. Like, that, my brain never used to function like that. They are, like, regurgitating this song of, like, 7 times 3 is, what would that be, 21? Right? So, like, I think it was like grade 5? I think it's grade 5. Even though I love that teacher very much, daily to this day. Like, but yeah, that there was just a pain by. Like.
Yes, that's...
Azem, again?
Yes, again. We're going to do this again.
I told you already, just ask me something that is times by 10, 5 or 2. I tell you this every day.
I am telling you what I know, you know?
I tell you what I know. And you keep asking me other things, like what you expect to happen.
And it's shocked about the same results. Insanity.
But we used to have, I remember having this conversation with teacher, like, just ask me things that times by 2, 5 and 10. And I'm going to be all right.
As if that's how it works. But that's not how it works, friend.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but I mean, look at you now.
Struggling.
That's because you didn't learn your
They love my timetables.
If you didn't learn your timetables, you would have been in a better position in life.
Yeah, you're right. Kids don't listen to me.
Don't, please. Let's not do that. But speaking of kids, yesterday was a very interesting day.
Really?
That I didn't even know was a thing.
What happened yesterday?
So yesterday was International Day of the Boy Child, and it was observed in Nevis. What I mean?
What is a boy child?
I don't know, friend.
That don't sound a bit redundant to you.
No.
But what is a boy?
A child.
A male child, right?
Yeah.
A male human child.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know why? So you know why they say boy child now?
No.
They really mean children that identify as boys, and that's why this is just ridiculous. Like this is why this is.
This is a new day. This is a new day.
The same man who come up with I believe the same man who come up with the International Men's Day is who come up with this year. No, seriously, like me even kidding. Like,
I believe you.
I think it's the same guy. I think I read sometime that the guy who came up with the International Men's Day come up with the International Day of the Boy Child.
Like what?
And we're so ridiculous now, like we can't have like.
Well, there was an address given
Of the mother adults.
of the mother adults. The women adults actually.
That's what
No, the women
No,
adults.
Mother's Day would be International Day of the mother adults.
Yeah, but yesterday there was an address given by a woman adult.
Oh.
She's probably a mother, but that wasn't the day we celebrated. So, it was given by Honorable Janelle Nisbet.
I actually like her. She's very cool.
Oh, vibes. Minister of Health, Gender Affairs and Social Empowerment in the Nevis Island Administration.
This is the thing for me too, Jade. Is it wrong to have a Father's Day? No. But you know the problem with Father's Day?
What?
That it's a day that highlights the fact that we just don't have the same amount of respect for fathers as mothers. That's why they're turning into. Like, that's the mystic thing about it, yeah. It'll just be like...
I think this year going to be different. I feel like this year going to be different. Based on some of the stuff that I've heard.
Jade, I mean, this Father's Day coming?
Yeah.
When is Father's Day, Jade?
The 19th.
Of what?
Make sure. Hey, July.
I don't know, Jade.
I think it's the 19th of July. No, I think I'm like, man, wait. No. Father's Day. I think it's the 19th. Wait, to be fair, I didn't know when was Mother's Day either, so I'm not a good gauge. I literally thought...
That was just too perfect, Jade. That was just too perfect.
No, I thought Mother's Day was a whole week before. I could read you a message I sent.
Father's Day was just a miss. Nobody celebrated.
Oh, it's June 18th, but I was way off by. No, actually, Way is a stretch, but I was a close, but listen.
That's the problem, Jade.
I tell you, I didn't know when it was Mother's Day either, so you cannot gauge based on me.
Jade, we make these days, and then the days have the exact opposite effect of its intention. Not only that, like...
Wait, you don't shout at me. I didn't know. I didn't know. That was a trick question and they set me up.
Oh, morning, Weedy. You was the one talking about Father's Day.
Yeah, but honestly, like, even Jaden's...
So you think this year gonna just be magically different?
Yes.
To all the other years?
Yes, you're gonna feel a shift.
But no, what you been hearing though? What you been hearing?
I can't spill the beans. It's supposed to be surprising there for y'all. Y'all supposed to be surprised at how much better it is.
Sure, you're just talking about 1 or 2 fathers in your life that you plan to celebrate in a real way?
No, that got nothing to do with it. I'm talking about institutions that I've heard specifically say that their plan is to make sure that Father's Day is way even better than Mother's Day. I already have clients asking me to create flyers for Father's Day to get their stuff out early.
You know why that is though, Jade?
No. Well, actually, yes, I do know. It is to celebrate y'all.
No, Jade.
And to make sure y'all feel the love
Jade.
and support.
Jade, it all makes sense what you're saying now.
No. Don't try that.
Who generally celebrates fathers, Jade?
Mothers.
Mothers. If you are somebody involved in retail, which demographic generally spends money in your shop? Male or females?
Probably females.
Oh no, Jade. When it comes to purchasing power, females control 80% of that deal.
And that's awesome.
So the idea that there are...
But one was not retail. One was literally just an institution that involves fathers that want to celebrate them in a big way.
And they don't have any, they don't collect money in a way?
No, they're not collecting any money.
No, not on that day, but they don't do anything that has money making to do with it.
No.
So they're not a for-profit business?
No, it's literally a daycare. Well, Jade in school. Just so we had the Mother's Day brunch.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
that's what I said. They plan to... You got me out there trying to spill me. Listen, no. You got me out there trying to get people...
You got to know at some point.
The point ain't reached yet. At the point, they will know, okay?
Anyway, happy belated International Day of the Boy Child.
Whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yo, we doing, society gone mad, yo.
Bye.
Society gone mad.
And we got mad also get Azem. Because every day we prove how we could outdo ourselves the day before, literally. Every single day.
Whether or not you share a view that is different to someone else about what a boy is. Because, of course, that is a debate now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, no problem. But just celebrate boys and boyhood then. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm not necessarily a big fan of these things, but they're here and that's the thing. And
yeah.
Because they become so commercialized. That's the issue.
Everything has them.
Yeah, it becomes commercialized and bastardized, and nobody does really remember the actual point of these things.
I don't even know the actual point, but there's one. Anyway.
I mean, the point of this, I would suspect, is to just shine a light on boyhood and what it means to be a boy.
So
and
there's a national day of girl children. What?
Yeah, I think there's a day to celebrate girls, and there has been, and I think that was the thing too, right? Because there was International Women's Day forever. Mm-hmm. There was no International Men's Day.
Men's Day though?
No, it came up. No, I think the same guy who proposed
he just out here doing.
The same guy who proposed this. So it wasn't like International Women's Day and International Men's Day came the same time. No. Men's came before women. Like there was an International Women's Day, and then somebody was like,
yeah, I forget somebody.
Let's celebrate the men.
Yeah,
the men really wasn't feeling that way about it.
No, I don't think so either. But question: what's the worst thing an ex has ever done to you after y'all broken up? After y'all broken up,
Well, probably screenshots and posts on social media or something. Like, trying to give a certain impression. That kind of thing.
That's the worst thing?
Yes, Jade.
That's late.
Yes, Jade.
You seem like you would be the type of man to elicit some dark tendencies in people.
No, Jade.
Tendencies that they didn't even know they had.
No, Jade.
No?
No. And whatever you can say now, I already know it's a woman who meant something, you know. But I'll explain why after. But go ahead.
Well, a woman crashes into garage of ex's boyfriend's current girlfriend.
What? So, well, like, slow down when you read it. Slow down when you read them things that been following them, man. Because you lost, yeah. Like, what? A woman.
I love how these things are just got plot twists.
A woman crashes into what?
She crashed into the garage of ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend.
Current girlfriend. Oh. Okay. So she crashed into the she crashed into the next girl. Garage.
Why, ma'am?
Jade, this ain't even surprising. That's the sad part about it. This isn't in any way surprising at all. I don't even know how this became news. Hell had no fury like a woman's car.
I tell you, women, when they're upset, are suicide bombers.
Yep, Jade.
They would take out themselves to take you out by.
I'm not even going to continue talking about this topic because,
But a woman would take out herself to take you out.
Jade, I tell you,
She don't care.
That's what I'm telling you.
She will fully embarrass herself just to embarrass you.
Yeah, and feel justified about it. And the way that I knew that this was a woman doing something to a man is because if a man is to ever do this kind of thing, lame you look. Lame you look, Jade. If I was to go take screenshots of a conversation between me and a girl, post it on social media to try and somehow paint a picture and create a narrative that she's anything less than an angel, I'm lame for that. And I agree. I should not do that. These are private conversations between me and somebody who at one time I claim to love. Like,
exactly.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But, the woman do it. Yeah, man. Expose him. Yeah. The king's just cracking up.
That one might be an insult for you. Me I like you. Well, Port 14 police are investigating a report in which a woman allegedly crashed a vehicle she owned into the garage of her ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend. She owned vehicle, Huh? Witty said she wasn't crazy before, you mean what I mean?
Not sure. Don't worry, me and Witty got a thing going on that
Clearly.
nobody need to understand.
And we don't.
Us.
You're right.
Except us. Morning, Witty.
The incident allegedly took place about 8:45 p.m. on Friday at the Lakeview housing complex in Port 14. The suspect was reportedly at the house of her ex-boyfriend as she had come to collect her son. While there, she got into an argument with the other woman.
Of course.
Heard it whatever.
Of course.
What is? Wow.
Dude, this is an all too familiar story. Yeah? That's the sad part about this. Yeah? This is an all too familiar story.
The confrontation escalated and the woman left. She then allegedly got into a vehicle, a Nissan Almera, and drove it into the garage
Nice car to you.
at the front of the victim's house. No one was injured. The police were notified and a team of officers from Port 14 police station responded.
Now, here's the question I have for you, Jade.
Oh.
Given the actions of this woman, you really feel that the child that she went there to pick up supposed to be living with she?
No, she can't stay bye.
But they're going to keep the...
Yeah, she... Yeah.
Them kind of things I just can't understand, Jade. I just cannot.
She sounds like she's missing some things upstairs. No, that's wild.
No, you don't mind. No, you got to fix back your car. You got to fix back the thing place. No, you got to fix back your ex-girlfriend place. So you know that they're brand new garage, brand new fence, everything.
Fresh. That reminds me of this story of this. You ever watch Dear John, Dear something? It was the story about this lady who was married to this man for years and then she left him and she went crazy. The man left her and she went crazy. Like, would literally harass the hell out of the man and his new girlfriend. To the point that she crashed, she came into the front of the house She used to break in the house, left her kind of voicemail.
Watch here, fellas.
No,
This,
come on, be crazy.
no, but this apply to fellas too. When the relationship done, left it there.
Somebody said she just got a little upset. A little? A
no,
little?
No, she got a little bill to pay.
A little? I don't know what kind of cash she got, but another ain't cheap.
Yesterday, I actually rewatched this video that had been circulating up time. You ever see this video of Judge Joe Brown calling this woman a hood rat?
Judge Joe Brown is the one that's called everybody a crackhead? No,
Right.
that's Mattis. That's
No,
Judge Mattis.
Anyway, so Judge Joe Brown, there was this lady, same thing. Fella move on. Ain't to say like he cheat or no nothing. Fella just move on, found himself a new girlfriend or whatever.
She couldn't take it.
The woman went punch the man tires them, scratch up the man vehicle, right up park and a thing on the man car. And in the court saying, yeah, I did it. I should have broke his glass too. Blah, 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 blah. Well, she there talking, the man just add on 1,000, yeah. Another 1,000 for punitive damages. Another 1,000 for punitive damages.
Sometimes we need to shut up, you know. Sometimes it's good for us to shut up.
Be like, yo, what are we going on with some of these people? But
But
the point I was making, Jade, because again, I mean, it's not a woman thing.
No, it's definitely not a woman thing.
When the relationship done, move on, left them.
Ah, like, no, wrong with moving on. There's
And we
8 billion. Is 8 billion, is it?
half of them, well, 90% of them ain't even in consideration.
No,
but
I
still,
know, but
like,
the-
still,
yeah.
yeah.
There's 8 billion people in the world. Just get an ex-boyfriend, get an ex-girlfriend. I know we like to think that, you know, dating is taboo and, oh, you gotta stick with a person because that's it. But no. When you start to mash up can, when you even feel like you want to mash up your car,
Yeah.
like if you feel like you want to mash up anything at all,
Yeah. Well,
remember, God is watching.
Well, I mean, the thing for me, it does be, it's done, like it's done. We had the conversation, we done had the whatever. Sometimes it's cordial, sometimes it's not. If you just cut it. Somebody just need to block our ex.
Fuck them.
Somebody just need to block your ex.
Someone advice. You got all your exes blocked?
No, Jade, I didn't be talking to myself. That, Jade, I'm telling you, that does be a problem. That does be a problem, Jade. Like, sometimes you just need to just go. Yeah, leave that in the past.
No, I'm with her.
Leave it in the past.
Yeah. It makes sense go jail over nobody.
And then, of course, there's some things that might complicate it. Maybe there's a child involved and that kind of thing, but...
But every day I thank the Lord for who I have a child with, because I couldn't imagine going through these things with like wow, that's been quite trouble.
I don't know the nature and the history of that particular relationship, but there must have been at some point when it was difficult and stressful and
of course.
So like it's something that we get to this point. Like hopefully you could get to a point soonest where it's cordial and not a source of drama and it's a source of peace and support.
Especially when you have children.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Because if you ain't got children, just go.
Yeah, just go. But when you have children, y'all have to remember the kids seeing these things. These kids seeing the way you and the daddy are.
Yeah, sometimes they want the children to see the thing they're doing. The children.
Let me show you your mother be here. Let me show her how crazy she be. Like what? No, you don't want to do that. You don't involve kids in these things. You do not do that. That is really annoy me when you start bringing kids into adult things like these things, mom and dad things, ex-partner things. Like
I have too many friends that the trauma that their parent put on them as it relates to their relationship with the other parent is glaringly obvious, Jade. Mm-hmm. I have friends that insist that they don't believe in love. I have friends that believe that they are incapable of love, and this isn't things that things people just say and think. I'm talking about people I have a really close relationship with, so like
they think they're unlovable,
or just that they're incapable of feeling the love that they seem to see in other people because they have never seen it or experienced it. Right?
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah, but when you look at where that comes from, a lot of times well, in the specific cases I'm talking about, you have a parent that constantly created a narrative that the love that we shared causing me grief and causing you grief. So love is a source of pain as opposed to a source of support and something that is necessary and these kind of things. Like like we just mess up. We don't mess up each other.
Yeah, definitely. We as humans just break each other all the time. We got to better. But it's break time. Let's talk some happiness. You know, we have one of the happiest people in the world joining us.
It's one of the happiest people in the world.
Well, yeah.
Oh boy, but guys.
It's already had a show called Only Good News.
Yeah.
You know how happy you have to be?
Well, maybe,
to find only good news?
Well,
because I don't find it daily, you know.
Jade,
and I just be looking.
No, your algorithms ain't going to show you that, Jade. We know the things where you like. Your algorithms ain't going to bring the happiness to you.
Oh, well, damn.
But yeah, guys, we have a very special guest in the studio with us right here at the Sugar Factory. So while we get set up, stick and stay. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Sip and Chat.
Get more value for your money when you activate your Digicel Prime bundle. More choices for what you want at low prices. More talk time on the most reliable network. More any-use data for whatever you're into searching and sharing. And dedicated data for more new apps to stream your music, shows, and live sports. Activate a Digicel Prime bundle of your choice in the My Digicel app today and save more. Digicel, better connected.
Morning,
Hey
dear.
guys, welcome
It's
back
time to wake up.
SipNchat right here at the Sugar Factory. And as we said before the break, we're actually joined by a very special guest, a good friend of mine. We go way back, friend of the show, even though this is his first time at the Sugar Factory.
Yeah, I didn't know how to find it, you know.
Yeah?
There's no sign.
But you did. You're a smart guy.
Well, I said the first thing to look for is an open door. So I looked
Smart
around.
guy.
I found an open door, and then I came in, and then I saw lots of closed doors. And I said, the only thing I'm looking for now is lights. So I looked through each of the doors, and I saw that light. I said, that's where they are.
I tell you, he's a smart guy. That man's a problem solver.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed,
and I'm sure
indeed.
we'll talk about some of the things that he's been doing using that imagination and creative thinking as we get through this. But hey, guys, I want to introduce to you.
Yes.
If you don't know who this is Inoite Inango. Inoite,
What's up?
what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh my gosh. You ever see a duck on a pond?
I have.
They look so calm and, you know, collected and everything. But underneath, they're just patterned like hell.
Yeah.
So right now, so many fires I'm outing, and you know, I'm trying my best to stay focused because so much things coming in my direction. So that's where I'm at now.
Well, let me do this then. If I were to ask who is Inoite and what is it that you're into, what do you do? Like, how do you describe yourself if you were to summarize who is Inoite?
I'm a creative, multi-dimensional entrepreneur
Okay.
who is an avid problem solver and a girl dad.
That just sounds like IG description.
header. Yeah.
That's who I am. So problem solving is part of my strengths. So as an IT professional, that knack for problem solving comes into play. As a creative, even that side of things assists me with solving problems. you know.
Right.
So, and then being an entrepreneur means that I have to always be quick on my feet. I have to be super creative. I have to be resilient. It's a lot of things a lot of values that I have acquired in this journey, but it's very challenging, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, and I think part of it is if it weren't challenging, I don't know if you would really even embrace it the way that you do. I think innately there's something inside people with that entrepreneurial spirit to chase and bump up against challenges and that thing to, like you said, solve the issues, to take that obstacle and turn it into a stepping stone. Like I think that is something that is innately part of what it means to be entrepreneurial.
Well, in this life, right, I find that we have missed a lot of what really matters. I find people tend to keep chasing wealth and chasing money and status, when in truth, the real pursuit should be of value.
Right. And those things aren't always synonymous.
No, they're not.
Right.
And so if you're pursuing creation of value, not only for yourself, but for other people, and this is the paradigm by which I live, you create value for 1 million people, then that's 1 million people who do not want you to fail.
Right.
That's 1 million people who think highly of you, 1 million people who would never let you suffer.
Right.
Or, like WhatsApp, they created value for millions and millions of people, and we never paid for it, but you know how much it was sold for.
Right.
19 billion.
Right.
19 billion for an app that we still don't pay for.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
So the pursuit really is for value.
Right.
And that's what my all my startups are essentially doing that. So people are like, you're not making any money. I'm like, it's okay.
Right.
But I'm creating value. And in the long run, the more people you're able to do that for, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of these startups?
I'm wearing one of them.
Oh, nice jacket, by the way.
Yeah, all of this is my daughter's art. I'm a
Ooh.
walking billboard. You know, I stand up and yes, everything. We turn around. Everything you see here was created by my daughter.
Nice.
But what we're able to do is take the pencil and crayons on paper and digitize them and transform them. So these are not essentially replicas. This is by virtue of me getting into my daughter's head and saying, okay, how would she create this digitally if she could?
Right.
And how can I enhance it? How can I bring it to life? And so this is Stuffy, Imagination Transformed. This is a platform that we created. When I say we, it's still I. Well, it's both of us now. That takes kids' art and transform it digitally. And from there, once you have an asset like that, the possibilities are endless.
Endless, right.
And I can tell you right now, we're actually working on our first animation.
Nice.
Oh.
These characters that you're seeing here are literally walking across a screen to a song that she did, which is a song about an adventure to the movies where she met all these characters and they decided to come along with her. So that is being created. I just actually looked at the latest scenes just before I came, and my animator has given me some gray hair, but the goal is for, as you can see, I just came alive. The goal is for us to actually premiere that at the movies.
Wow.
Oh, that would be amazing. Eh?
No, I'm actually having conversations, and we will subsidize the tickets for the kids so they can actually pay like $5 to go watch a movie and have your snacks and see the premiere of this while we premiere it on YouTube concurrently. Because at the end of the day, the goal is value, right?
Right.
The song is about an adventure to the movies. It is going to be, I'm not saying it's supposed to be anyway, it is going to be the song that kids around the world sing when they're excited to go to the movies. I think that I'm hyping it up a little bit too much, and you guys are not privy to what this sounds like, and I did send your production team a copy of it, so if you don't mind them playing it for your audience to hear, and you can understand why this is actually a big deal.
I would love at this time if we could, we'll talk about it some more, I'm sure, but I think we all kind of want to hear
it. Yeah.
All right.
We want to hear this song. So you wanna intro the song for us?
The song starts with the scene with me, with my daughter, and I'm telling her, hey, we're going to the movies, and she's excited. And then she just tells a story about what that adventure was like. Now, the song is multi-dimensional in terms of its genres. It's a calypso, and then it breaks into Broadway, big band type of a feel, and then at the end, there's a melting pot of several genres at the end of the song. And the reason why I did that strategically was so that people around the world can actually find a connection to the song,
relate to it,
right. So I think it's a one of a kind so far, and you will hear some areas where I actually had to dig deep into those cobwebs of my hands on the keyboard. And you would know part of that was played on your keyboard, right? Yeah. And so it brought the producer in me alive, and so I do plan to do a little bit more production work.
Nice.
Over the summer. Once my computer behaves. But anyway, let's stop talking.
Technology.
And let's do the listening, and we take it from there.
Morning, dear. It's time to wake up. Guess what?
What, Daddy?
We're going to the movies tonight.
Yay! Woke up this morning,
Morning, dear. It's time to wake up. Guess what?
What, Daddy?
We're going to the movies tonight.
Yay! Woke up this morning, saw my daddy. He said tonight we're going to the movies. I asked Daddy, what we gonna see? And he said it's a stuffy movie. I say yeah to my daddy. He makes me happy. I cannot wait to see this movie. I can't wait for tonight to come. Yay! I'm so excited to go to the movies. We're so excited to go to the movies. So on the way to the movies, I saw something blue in the bushes. I asked Daddy, what is that? And he said it's Sonic the Blue Dog. And all of the sudden, Sonic just fell and he asked, where are you going? I said we are going to the movies. Join us! I'm so excited to go to the movies. We're so excited to go to the movies. So we kept walking past by a beach. Then we saw jellyfish singing. She kept singing under the sea. Then Sonic said she looked familiar. She had a really nice voice. I really like her. We should invite her to the movies. I said yay, she can come too. Yippee! I'm so excited to go to the movies. We're so excited to go to the movies. So Afi is coming too, and Cream is coming too, and Hype is coming too, and Sonic is coming too, and Jelly is coming too, and Daddy is coming too, and everyone is coming to the movies. We're going to the movies. We're going to the movies. We're going to the movies. We're all going to the movies to watch the stuffy movie. Yeah! Well, that was fun. Hi, this is Adia. I just want to encourage all of you to be creative. It will make you feel so good, like so excited, you know? Even if it's only stick drawing you can do, just do whatever your imagination tells you to do. And your imagination can be transformed into something amazing. I can't wait to see what you create. So stay positive and creative. Bye!
Alright guys, well welcome back. I can't believe that this is something that is, like this exists.
Yeah.
Like this exists. Like
It's
this
such a fun song. I mean, of course, because, you know, it came from a very fun mind.
Yeah, it brings me joy when I hear the song. Every time I hear it,
Yeah.
I smile, and I can't wait for it to do what it's supposed to do. The reason why it hasn't really had its proliferation yet is because I want the animation to be finished.
This song is literally just one part of the overall vision. That's what you're saying.
Yes, it is.
Right.
So once that's done, then it goes on YouTube, and everybody was like, "Where can I find the song?" Just go to the YouTube page.
Yeah.
And then we will start to continue to create content. Again, centered around imagination being transformed by kids' art. So the possibilities are endless at this point.
I mean, well, let's talk a bit about even just the idea, because you said imagination transformed, right? And I think once you got into that mindset of the intellectual property and of my daughter's mind has value.
Yeah.
Yes, that's deep.
That is very
right. Then I
that's,
think
wow.
that made a lot of things possible.
If you ask her how much she's worth, she'll tell you $50 million.
She's probably correct, or even undervaluing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what she. Well, we did a presentation on art a couple weeks ago, and I exposed her to Brito. Remember Brito?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Dad, I can do this." I'm like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she saw how much he was worth, and so I commissioned her to do some doodle art, and she said, "Dad, how much is this one worth?" She's already thinking.
Right,
like
along
that,
those lines.
right?
Yeah.
So, she creates stuff, and she says, "Dad, transform this." So she's kind of like my boss right now.
Ah, right,
Well, I mean,
right. She's the
naturally,
CEO
that's what kids are.
She's a chief imagination officer.
And
And I'm the chief transformation officer.
Nice. But I mean, so that's the paradigm. That's the way that you're thinking now, and you began by taking some of her art pieces, like you said, that led you into Stuffy.
Yeah.
And that platform now is now available to not only you and your daughter, but to anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone all over the world. So if you have kids' art that looks like you want to transform, and to be honest, like she wears her art. Like
Right.
it's on her book bag, it's on her bottles, it's on her books. I mean, it's on everything. So she even had a birthday party where she didn't ask for Dora or Sonic or Barbie. She created the characters.
Right.
The cake was her character that she created. The plates had her art on it. Her cups, everything was centered around that.
Wow,
So
that is such
ownership.
That is amazing,
Ownership,
honestly.
Ownership and empowering children to see their art as having more value than what they perceive it to be.
Not even just their art, but I think intrinsically what that does is it positions them to not see themselves as less than anyone else or anything else.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that idea of I am valuable goes a long way. And I think that's something that we've been trying to address for quite some time among young people. Just the idea that you are value and you bring value to the world around you.
And I'm really, it's really amazing that you've started her on this path early, because just imagine what she'll do when she gets to an age where she really can understand and see the real importance and value in the things that she's doing. She's going to be amazing. I mean, she's already amazing.
The thing about it is, she looks at her art, and when you, on the first glance, it looks like she can't draw. You understand? Because it doesn't fit a narrative of realism, right? And she says, "Dad, I don't need to learn how to draw to make it look real. This is my expression of what I feel." And taking ownership of how you're expressing yourself is extremely powerful.
Yes, indeed.
And so she is super confident with her being perfectly imperfect. You understand?
Right.
And just taking ownership of that. And what she's doing by virtue of that is encouraging her classmates to do the same.
To do the same thing.
And she's like, "You don't have to teach me anything. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay just the way I am." I'm like, "Okay, good."
Right.
Sometimes, there was a time I wanted to actually get her into shading, and she says, "Dad, I'm not interested in that."
Right.
No, she just wants to.
She just wants to create. And I mean, the doodle art pieces that she is going, the first one that she has done is epic. I can't release it yet because it's being considered for mural Icon of the Seas, which is going to be in Finland.
Right.
Wow.
So if we do get that job, then that's like, they have copyright over that.
Right, exactly.
The work has to be original, can't be seen. So
Right.
But I would love to share that with everybody. But it's like 100 pieces of just stuff.
Right.
Everything is intrinsically unique. How on earth her brain is able to comprehend that, and then for me to go back and literally draw everything back over and over again. It takes a lot of work, but she has a lot of potential, and I just wish I had a little bit more time.
Right.
For her to encourage this. Unfortunately, I still have to teach. I have a house.
Life happens.
Yes,
Life happens.
as a parent, you have to find balance, but there's so many things that you have to do in one day as a parent, because you have to parent, you have to take care of yourself, you then have to go to a job, you're a teacher, so you have to take care of other kids.
Yes.
So
Yeah, but I mean, when you start talking about that mindset, how did that then move into the song? Because just the idea of like,
just going to the movies.
well, just tell me how that came about.
So her school
that we're gonna do a song.
Her school was having a performance arts night, and typically each class was her school, Sky Academy. Each class was gonna do a piece. I said, wait, my child, who has this father, we're gonna go to watch a show, and she don't do nothing.
Right.
You understand? She don't do nothing. She is going to be a part of a group project. No, not this man here. So I said, what can she do? Well, she can't play the piano well. She could read, but I haven't taught her. She can't play the trumpet either well because I haven't spent time with that.
Right.
She's been around Calypso. She's come to practices right upstairs here.
Right.
She's sung, she's listened, she's seen everything. She loves that environment. So you know what? Because you have to audition. You have to audition to get on the show.
Oh no, this is fancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to audition. So I said, you know what can I do? You know what? Okay, I can write a Calypso. But I forgot about the theme. The theme was A Night at the Movies, you know. So the original song was I Will Make Them Proud. The song is going to be about her making her parents proud, making everybody proud.
Right.
So I started writing, and then I checked. The theme is A Night at the Movies. I'm like,
oh my God.
how could I write a Calypso about night at the movies?
Right.
How? And then I said, wait, just make it about the stuffy movie. And so the night before the audition, see me there literally, I can't play piano very well. I'm there coming up with a theme, and then within an hour I had the song written.
Right.
Had the idea for the song. Call up my producer friends. Hey, can you help me with this? This person no answer, this person. Luckily I got Dijon Webb, who is one of the most talented producers in the land. He gets me, and you know, he didn't answer the phone, but then an hour later he calls me back. I said, you called? So I explained it to him, and he was like, I got you. And by the next morning, Dijon had the masterpiece, like pretty much finished. I just gave him, listen, I just need you to, you know, include this instrument and include this player, whatever.
Expand on what I have here.
And then, you know, so he did like the first part of the song, and then with that we were able to go see the audition. And then it just grew. So, but the way he did the song allowed me to see that this could be a possibility to have animation.
Right.
And so said, so done. The animation is happening.
It's happening.
And I mean, once that's done, we're going worldwide. Like I'm going to market this. You know, Facebook makes it very easy to do that. YouTube makes it very easy to do this. I'm just going to market it to people who like to watch this kind of stuff. And then, you know, the streaming platforms, either Spotify and all of those, like I'm going to go and make sure that this song is a song. But the song is actually modular because you can be so excited for anything. I'm so excited to go back to school.
Right.
You know, I'm so excited for Sugar Mass. Like there's so many different things that you can do with the song because that's what it is, about being excited.
It's about being excited, right.
Right.
But I mean, what I'm hearing here is that these ideas, right, once they become more than ideas, right, they continue to, it's almost like when you give birth, right, you give birth to, you know, to something and it grows and it evolves. And sometimes you don't even know what it's going to evolve into. And I think that's kind of what I'm hearing from you, these experiences, that I had an idea and then, okay, well, we gave birth to the idea, and then the idea now has this life that it's living, and it's continuing to grow and to evolve and to move and to have its own thing. Sometimes maybe even outside of the initial thought. And I think the important part though is that step from taking it from just an idea to
what
something
it
that
is now, yeah.
to something that is living and breathing.
It is definitely. You might be the most girl dad of all girl dads.
Yes, I relish in that energy.
Yeah, you might be the final boss of all girl dads. Honestly,
she gives me so much joy. Like, she cares about me.
I
Like,
could tell because listening to you speak about the project and how your daughter is the influence behind it, and how you've always spoken about her, how you've always taken her to different things, different experiences. Like, that is invaluable, and I hope a lot of dads stop and take a page out of your book and realize that, yes, you may be raising a child to the best of your ability, but there's so much more that you could do than just, you know, make sure that you feed them and clothe them and shelter them. You have to nurture them and put things into them that when they grow up, they put it back into the world, and you could feel their impact.
Be present. Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Like, that's what it takes, because for her to have known that this is what she likes. In fact, she wouldn't even known much about what she likes until you affirm.
Right.
You see certain things and you continuously affirm, and it now becomes a part of who they are.
And the only way you could see that is if, like you said, you're present.
Present.
Yeah.
Like, your mind, you have to pay attention. Because if you're not, you're just there physically present and you're just going about your business, doing your stuff. And you're like, yeah, the child is home with me, but no, you got to pay attention.
But it's almost like anything else, right? You get out of it what you put in, right?
Yes.
So the effort and the energy that you put into the responsibility of parenting, I think you get out what you put in.
Yes, 100%. My daughter is now emerging into the empath stage of her life, where she is feeling other emotions that other people may have and acting on them and actively trying to make you feel better. Like,
celebrate with you.
celebrate everything. She's just that, but again, that was a lot of intentional energy that's being fed and affirming, and, you know, like I said, now I realize she's constantly asking me, Daddy, are you okay?
Right.
She's feeling something.
Right.
She's feeling something is kind of off. I kind of lie, and I say I'm okay, right? But she's feeling something, and so she's telling me, Daddy, don't worry, you know you need to take care of yourself, right? You know, if you die, you're not going to be able to take care of me. she said that.
She's guilting you into being a better person.
She's trying, she is, because
She's showing different methods.
Listen, sometimes you have to add a little guilt in there, you know.
She's like, Daddy, you know, you need to eat. You know, don't just, not just for me. You know, like, Daddy, do you need a break? Do you need to rest? Like, what?
Yeah.
She's parenting you.
She is.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's what you put in.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna come out.
So
You can't see it any other way.
That is true. So when can we look for? Can you give us any dates? Like, when can we look forward to the animation? Because I know Jaden and I will be front and center.
the dates. So the thing I've realized with the creative industry is giving hard dates when you're dealing with creatives.
Yep.
I feel personally attacked.
Okay, we all feel attacked.
No,
okay,
because it's a thing.
You got to be in a zone to create, and you can't rush it. You can't force it. It's either there or not.
True.
Right. This animation was supposed to be released the first week in April. We're about to be.
Oh, wow.
It's the end of May.
I don't know if you know. Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't know if you know.
Right. So I told the animator, I said, listen, I know I'm disappointed, but at the end of the day, I'm not releasing a half-baked product. I have a vision, and if you're not matching the vision, I'm not going to accept your work.
Right.
So it's a lot of going back and fixing. Nope, I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the way this feels. It's not showing the vision. Go back and fix.
Right.
It's a lot of that. And just this morning, I sent back some feedback, but luckily it wasn't a litany of notes.
Yeah, and
it's reduced to about 2 points now, so she's getting it.
Yeah, the hope is that with every edit, the list gets shorter.
It is getting shorter, and so we've finished there's 3 major scenes. Well, the bedroom scene, which is where I go and talk, say, we're going to the movies. The scene where she literally slides down the railings of the stairs. Like, she literally just slides down the railing of the stairs, and we go outside. That's done. There's an outside scene where
Can't give out too much, China.
Right?
Can't give us too much.
I'm not giving you everything. I'm just letting you know that the first, we're basically done with the major scenes.
The major scenes, right.
And so there's 2 more major scenes, and then after that, it's just going to be her at the end encouraging everybody, to be creative and saying her own views on that. So I can't wait. I'm so excited.
As you should be. But where can people follow your journey? Where can people keep up to date with all the new things that you're doing?
Right now, I am such a bum with social media. Facebook is the only place that we have content. We do have an Instagram page, which I have not put any content on. But at the same time,
you could just share it from Instagram to Facebook.
That's why I said I'm a bum when it comes to social media.
Yeah, you don't have to go to both platforms. Just click a button on Instagram and it shares straight to Facebook.
Well, the thing is, I have most of my following on Facebook. So to start to build that audience on Instagram only comes applicable when I am in the act of creating content.
Right.
A lot of the content you see on my shirt was created when I was not working. I had time. So now I don't have the mental capacity to sit down and draw because I have to be doing other things.
Right.
But this summer, as a teacher, the summer breaks.
Summer is vacation time.
So you already know what you're going to be working on.
I know
what
we are going to be. Again, I'm going to put this into the universe. This is how you seem literally the idea being birthed right now. In person.
Okay.
We are going to be doing we call it stop motion animation.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
So that's the next step.
That's the next step, to have literally these characters, put the storyboard behind them, their personalities, and create these shorts.
Space.
Yeah, create these shorts. And I have a webcam, I have a computer, I have the program, everything. We can literally just do the step frame by frame and have her voiceover, do my voiceovers, add little special effects and little stories, short stories. Now the goal really is to go into full-blown animation. Well, my computer's pretty from 2011, so it's pretty bad. You can't really do much. But for now, by giving her and empowering her to have control over the camera and these things, she's going to be doing the work, not me. So while I'm doing other things... By the way,
that's child labor and it's illegal in Take
she's going to be having fun. She does this anyway, right? She goes with her little characters. I'm like, okay, so teacher, frame by frame, come up with a story, take the pictures, here's a computer, you create the stuff, and we go back and we produce it. Put it on the YouTube page.
Right.
So...
that's another amazing skill you're teaching her, by the way.
Well, but it all comes both out of the idea that my ideas and thoughts are valuable, right?
Yes. That is true.
Yeah, and that they're more than things that live in my mind, that they could come to life. So, I mean, just that idea alone, I think, is powerful.
I agree.
Right? I think that is just such a powerful concept altogether, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the products of this mindset and what is to come. With the premiere, I'm hoping that we get special invitations.
We better.
Definitely want a video.
By all means, so we would need as much coverage as possible.
Definitely.
So let this go. We want it to go worldwide. I want every child in the world to be singing this song.
Yeah,
that's the goal. The same way Bruno Mars has his songs and everyone's singing them, the same way all these people have this song. Why can't we? This little island here, why can't we create content for the world to consume?
There's no reason why
I am foolish enough to believe that this is going to happen.
It will.
Well, there is no answer to that question you asked. Why not? There's not an answer. There's nothing stopping us from doing exactly that. No. And I'm confident that this is exactly where this whole thing is going. And with the level of energy that you have behind it, I don't think that there's any way to stop it, to be totally honest.
Definitely.
And, you have my full support.
Your phone must be there. Yes, to Jade. In fact, when I remember back in the day, I would show Jade stuff and she's like, I'm so excited to see this stuff. So I remember, we go way back, and this relationship will always be here.
Nice.
Love it.
Y'all, some of y'all got some children out there with some talent. Y'all need to go check out Stuffy. Give them the website.
Stuffy.com. Go to stuffy.store. Stuff like this. That's STOPHY.
I got some stuff in Jaden.
And then go to the Facebook page. Just search for Stuffy, STOPHY. You'll see the page on Stuffy Art. And you'll see that you'll catch up with what we've been doing. There's a whole gallery of the original and then the finished version of what she's done. I haven't put lots of content up lately, but I'm getting back into that flair. I mean, just this week, her school had the contest for art to go on the school yearbook, and so she created something the night before the deadline, and that had me drawing again. But my juices are definitely flowing.
Yep.
So I can't wait to finish my schoolwork, my SPA grading and testing and admin work, so I can go into this fully. But by the way, I am turning 41 in 2 days.
Wow,
So,
congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
My birthday present will be, I think, keeping hope alive through all of this. I need to be able to definitively have a path. I'm working on something for Stuffy for the summer also. Do I want to say it here? Yes, I'm going to say it.
Like exclusive.
No, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because if I don't say it, then I will not feel encouraged to go back and put in the work. Because I do have a bit of a life coach now. Guys, this thing is
a real thing.
Important to have somebody whose job it is to just listen to you and make sure you succeed.
I need one of those.
I'm serious, right? And
so,
so that's one of the things that she's given me homework to do. She's like, you need to make sure this idea comes to life. So what we're about to create and go into, and I'm going to release it here because people like to say, why do you talk about your ideas? Aren't you afraid someone will steal them? I said, actually, imitation is the best form of flattery. And at the end of the day, I have a brand.
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
You may want to take it,
but it's me.
But it's me, and you're not me. You don't have, and you don't understand that energy is a huge part of the success, not just the actual item.
Right, exactly.
So we're about to create a plethora of greeting cards. Why not us? Why not have greeting cards that are done inspired by a lot of these characters for any occasion, especially for kids.
Right.
For birthdays, for graduations,
Get well soon.
Get well soon, for
Right.
everything.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So we're going to start supplying as many outlets as possible and have a brand, again, value.
Yeah, exactly.
Value.
Exactly.
We'll also create affirmation cards that you can literally just see these little whimsical things. So she's going to be creating like a lot, and we're just going to be giving them. Some of them will just be given to people. Others people will be able to purchase. But we are creating generational wealth, and it starts now. So that I put this into the atmosphere, into the universe.
No, you have to do it.
I'm going home to.
It's gonna happen. Like no, it's gonna happen. So
No,
we
definitely.
look forward to seeing some of these the products of this idea again. Like
June for the cards. Yeah.
okay. Awesome.
We shall keep that in mind.
He said it here.
Yeah, no, I heard him.
He said it here.
So
I mean, it is so refreshing to just not only hear about what you're doing, but to also hear the passion with which you're doing it. I think that in itself is inspiring. Hopefully, like some of the sippers, hearing what you're saying, want to look to support what it is that you're doing, and maybe even want to mimic some of the mindsets that bring about some of these physical products and iterations of your ideas and your feelings and your emotions. I think that is one of the things that maybe even you might not fully understand. Like what you're doing, you're just doing.
Yeah.
But the spill off of that is I know there are people that are being sparked by your actions. And the inspiration exists. I could tell you that for a fact.
Definitely.
So, I mean, keep doing what you're doing. And even when you get rough, because, of course, we said there's always challenges.
There's always something.
There's always challenges.
I'm going through them right now.
Yeah.
As you see me right now, it's
Daddy, are you okay?
I'm going through.
That's when you know. That's when you know you're really going through it. If your child listen to this stuff and be like, "You okay?"
Yeah. So
Like Jade hits me with, "Mommy, you sad?"
yeah.
So you know you're really going through it. But that's life, and we all go through things, and we just have to get to them and get to them as well as we can with what we have. So.
And look forward to the products of the work.
Yes, definitely.
Sometimes when that thing is there, like that makes it all okay.
Worth it.
Yeah, it's all worth it at that point.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I'm sure the first time you heard the song for the full song finished,
I smiled.
Yeah, I could imagine.
smiled.
I could imagine.
So when I see the animation, before we finish, I want to let you guys know that. Let me look in the camera. Listen, right? Write out what you want. Okay? Last year I was on this show called Let's Do This, right? And I pitched my ideas on the show. Now I had four revenue streams at the time, And my pitch was to take that and triple it to 12. And you would believe it that almost everything I pitched on that show is coming alive without having received the $300,000 looking for.
Right.
One of the things I talked about was animation. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how I was going to find the money to do it. And it's so said, so done.
Right. It's happening.
It's happening, right? There are other things that we pitched, that I pitched was, physical locations and the experiences. There's a lot of things that haven't happened. But I'm seeing that because I put it out there and I could see it and I spoke it.
You give it energy.
I'm giving it energy, and I'm also being held accountable to what it is that I said I wanted to happen. And so it is happening. So whatever it is that you think you want to do, write it out. Like, actually try see it and be foolish enough to think that it's going to work. And don't be afraid to share it with people who are smarter than you. When I was doing stuff, I went to people who I said, please tear this down. Tell me why this is not going to work.
Yep.
And then I went back and I reiterated and going to the drawing board and then changed my vision, That is part of the whole process. You don't just need cheerleaders, you need people who would actually challenge you.
We had some of those conversations, I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's happening, and as much as it's frustrating, I can sometimes slow down and see this S on my chest.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
This is the S on my chest right now. Like it's. I feel super with this.
Yeah.
It's on my hat. It's on my shirt. It's on my jacket, and yeah, it's my superpower. Stuffy. Imagination transformed.
Imagine that. Literally imagine that.
Imagine.
Right? But it's been such a pleasure talking to you, as it always seems to be. And again, all encouragement for what you have going on and what's to come. I'm so excited for all these things to come to pass. I'm looking forward to just being a part and being able to engage with all of these things that started out as these ideas that are now just really inspiring not only you and your daughter, but initially the entire world is a marketplace.
That's it.
So again, thank you for coming. No, you know where the sugar factory is?
No, I know where it is. Yeah, well, I'll be back. I mean, once I have more stuff to share, I'm like, hey, Jade.
Yeah.
I got a story. I got a story to tell, so I want to tell it.
You're always welcome here at the Sugar Factory, man. Appreciate you big time.
Likewise.
All right.
Man. Let's hug it out.
That was so awkward.
Watch it. Let me tell you something. I tell somebody one time.
You could tell us if don't hug people.
I am not a hugger. I'm not a hugger.
As if you didn't even know what to do.
I was just like, what am I supposed to do now? One time
You have to put up your hands, friend.
Oh, that's how it goes?
Yeah, you have to put up your hands and then you... Yeah.
Maybe I need a daughter. And then become a girl dad. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back as we wrap up today's edition of Sip and Chat. Stay tuned, stay locked, go wash out your mug and come right back. guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Sugar Factory here for more Sip and Chat as we wrap up. Jade, that was a very inspiring conversation. And it made me feel good.
You see, when I was introing him, the reason I introed him the way I did is because I knew the type of conversation we would have.
Yeah. It does make me feel good for sure. I ain't telling a lie.
Yeah,
I remember when he was getting the song all up and running and thing, he was calling me with some of the challenges and thing, and it's like just to see where it's at now, and it's really inspiring. So yeah, go check out the platform though. I'm gonna tell you something. Like one of the things that Stuffy is something that I think is important. I should have said it when he was here, but one of the things that is important for me with Stuffy is I always encourage people to support local. That's one. So this is a local thing that is worldwide. Like we have to support it first. Like we have to make this thing blow up, right? But two, the idea of not only our thing is just as good as anything I could get from wherever. The idea that you give your child the opportunity to recognize that their thing is just as good as the things you get at Disney World.
Yep.
Or you get on Amazon. Like I think that is priceless.
I agree.
I think that is priceless. So it's like, yeah.
Listen,
just support it. Trust me.
I have a drawer full of drawings from Jaden because I usually I'm a hoarder of his stuff. So every time he gets, the school sends home stuff and homework and all of these things that they do in school, and I just have a drawer full.
Yeah.
Literally a just drawer full of things that Jaden has done in preschool.
I just hope that I have the ability to identify the things that my children do. And people talk about purpose, right? And I even just talk about purpose. And one of the things that I'm realizing with purpose ain't passion. Like it's not what you're passionate about. It's what you're good at. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you're good at something, then you're able to give to that, right? So if I am a good speaker, right? If I am somebody who is charismatic and able to tell stories and that kind of thing, then I think that leads you into your purpose, right?
Yeah.
So like being able to figure out what your children are good at, not just what they're interested in.
What they're good at.
Because one of the things I think that's one of the things that we go wrong a lot with, yeah? Like I think that's a big problem. I think a lot of times we think what we like is our passion, or the things that we're interested in is our passion. No, something could be interesting.
It's just interesting.
And that's the biggest example in the world is music. Because you like music don't mean you're a singer.
That is a fact. Because
But we see a lot of people who think that. We see a lot of people that think that.
Unfortunately.
It's okay to be passionate and to love something, but what are you good at? Like what are your strengths, right?
That is true.
And I think if we're able to figure those things out, nurture it, we'll find a lot more people who are happier, who are able to go into because when you're living on this world and you're doing what you're supposed to do, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, I think that brings a sense of satisfaction and happiness. Eh?
I agree.
Yeah, I really think that's one of the things that plague us. A lot of people have no idea what they're supposed to be doing. So they just do what is available. And they don't feel fulfilled.
No, they're just going about their day, waking up, doing the same thing.
You're doing what you have to do to survive. That's what a lot of people are doing. And it's because, unfortunately, either what they were good at wasn't encouraged, wasn't nurtured, or maybe they never figured it out because they maybe never recognized that they were like, hey, I'm good at this. Sometimes you're so good at something where you don't realize it's a thing.
Bye. Like, I see people do things like create murals out of pencil shavings, and I'm like, how you just figure out you could do this?
No, Jade, let me tell you something, right? For instance, you have that child, right, who every time he walks into a room, every time she walks into a room, everybody mood lifts. And some of those children, we beat it out of them. We beat it out of them and say they're disruptive in class. They're this and they're that. Or he's a class clown. But maybe your purpose in life is to make people feel good.
Yeah, maybe.
And make people laugh.
Maybe your purpose in life is to be a comedian.
To be a comedian.
I don't know, I love a good comedian. Listen.
No, but the problem is, what happened now is that you have everybody trained to be a comedian and that's not, you don't have a talent for, and that's how you end up with people posting up themselves in filters and doing weird things.
Well,
But yeah, guys, figure out what you're good at, figure out what your children good at,
yeah.
and put as much energy behind it as possible because that's where you're gonna find your purpose. That's where they're gonna find the purpose and eventually find fulfillment, and that leads to at least anything close to happiness.
I agree.
So, yeah.
You want to do one crazy story before we leave?
Maybe I need you to go talk at the graduation for you, bye. Maybe I need you to go talk at the graduation for you.
Listen, you better go when people left school. Well, come back here and give you motivational speeches that the people have been waiting here. You want to go out to order.
I really don't think I'll be able to.
I think, you might be doing your other purpose in life.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, bye.
ain't a bad man.
What happened now?
Connecticut town abuzz while hoping for Vatican to weigh in on miracle claim.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. Happens from time to time.
Yeah, this one ain't so bad.
Happens from time to time. What happened in this town?
Well, excited Catholics in the tiny town of Thomaston, Connecticut, are praying that the Vatican confirms the miracle they said occurred in local church in March. The Vatican received the reports that during Mass at St. Thomas Catholic Church, a shortage of hosts or wafers used as communion to symbolize the body of Jesus Christ was suddenly fixed when the wafers mysteriously multiplied. As the Holy See. Oh, friend, your food never multiply. You never thought you had
so
something.
they're thinking this is Sermon on the Mount. That's what it was. Somebody who, when God multiplied the loaves and fishes, he multiplied the wafers this time.
If he could turn water into wine and
He multiplied the wine.
Yeah, if he could multiply bread and fish, some wafers in.
Yeah, wafers easy.
I am not to ask. As the Holy See, aided by Archdiocese of Hartford, investigate the case, parishioners are hoping that the church officials eventually recognize the miracle as the genuine article. We're all waiting in suspense for word from Rome. Congregant James Clark, 51, told the Post on Monday, "I believe in my heart that it's real, but obviously you need confirmation before you can say with absolute certainty that a miracle occurred." So if I see it and they see it, if they say real?
No, the Vatican have to confirm it. The Vatican have to confirm it. It's just like saints, and like, you can't just walk out you're a saint.
So if the Vatican, those are
They have to do an investigation to make it official. Yeah, it's a thing. Like, yeah, they have to investigate.
Wild.
Then you can't just come and say, "Hey, guess what, guys? I raised this guy from the dead." This guy was dead. He's no longer dead. That's me.
All me.
That's me.
Call me second coming of Christ.
No, you can't. No, you can't do that. Like, no. The Pope and the cardinals, somebody in a funny gown got to come, do an investigation.
Well, let me get the ball rolling, you know.
Yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Let me see.
Because the way how the economy is around the world looking, we might need more of this miracle.
If this is a thing, we got some bigger fish to fry.
But this is the kind of multiplication you could get behind.
Yeah, man. Easily. So, you ever win you know you could win an election if you died?
Oh?
Yeah. I was about to ask if you ever win one, but I forget. One, you've never ran politics,
No,
and two, you've never died.
No, I've won elections, just not in politics.
And you didn't die?
Yeah, in youth parliament and...
Okay. Most importantly.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, that's the most important part of that.
Still here. Yeah.
Mind me and my grandmother. So a dead woman wins civic election in India's Uttar Pradesh. Well, you keep watching me like it's me that be writing these articles, Azem. Azem, I'm not the editor.
Don't you really know them, man? My thing does be just skip all these things.
And read what?
In India, full stop.
No, friend.
That's what I'd be doing.
Context and headlines are important.
I just skip out them things there.
No, friend.
In India,
No.
summarize, give us a synopsis,
But
condense.
it has to start with the headline. It has to start with it. A woman won a local election in India almost 2 weeks after her death. Her supporters kept their... You're laughing.
Because the biggest part of this for me isn't the fact that the dead woman won the election. Is that somebody actually lost to a dead woman.
You probably should hang it up. Politics probably for you.
You, sir, have lost
Not only did you lose.
at life and in life
I feel like that's basically what happened.
while being alive.
While being alive too, you know.
Boy, that is insane to me.
Yeah, so you got sometimes.
By humans, but I know, trying to tell me democracy can last much longer. That they vote for a dead woman.
2 weeks after she died, yeah, she
2
didn't
weeks
even just
after
die.
she dead. This is who we're voting for. This is who we want to.
Well, it was a sign of respect as him.
Jade.
I'm telling you what I say. It was a sign of respect.
Jade.
But you keep...
Humans continually remind me that we're here purely by the grace of the Father, you know, Jade. Ain't our fault, you know.
You know, if we were
Because
up to us, we'd have done been out of
we'd have
here.
gone.
We'd have done been out of here.
We would not have get out of the cave, Jade. We would not have get out of the cave, Jade. The people vote for a dead woman and then say it was a sign of respect.
Yeah. Ashia Bai polled nearly 44% of the vote in the race for municipal civic body seats in the Bijnor district of India's most populous state of Uttar Pradesh this month, according to a report by the AFP news agency on Tuesday. Bai fell ill, reportedly from an acute lung and abdominal infection, and died just 12 days before the poll. The popular 30-year-old first-time candidate was declared victoriously. Sorry, she was declared victorious posthumously.
All I who vote for this woman, never vote again.
Why?
Y'all do not have the best interest of yourself or the country.
Her husband informed election officials about the death, but district officer told AFP there was no procedure in place to remove her name from the ballot.
No, I understand that. I understand that she remains on the ballot. Mm-hmm. I understand also that by that time nominations would have gone and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And if it was a matter that the people did not inform anybody that this woman did, I would understand that.
No, but
they knew they walked into the thing and put their ex by a dead woman's name. These people want to get...
She made friends easily and the people didn't want to break the promise of support they gave her, and hence the result.
No, but here the joke now. So they don't have anything in place if a candidate dies after being nominated and before the date of election. Well, what they got in place for when a dead person win the election? Where that they be in the Constitution? Where that they be in the Constitution? Where that they, I want to see the clause in the Constitution now.
How she gonna say?
Because if I find it hard to believe, right, that there's nothing in the clause speaking towards the death of a candidate prior to the election, but there's something speaking to what happens when you elect a dead person.
Yes.
So let's see now.
Yeah. I love it. Love it. Well, congratulations to her. And my condolences at the same time.
Yeah, imagine that. Condolences and congratulations are in order for...
The world's so unserious, right? The world is so unserious that daily I get a reminder of just how unserious we are as a people.
And this is the thing for me that makes this year so just disheartening, Jade. You talk to these people who do it, they feel it right, yeah?
Yeah,
they feel it right.
Where they gonna feel it, man?
They feel it right, Jade, and then they just feel like... Wow.
Well, as if the world.
Democracy is not lasting much longer, Jade. I am convinced.
No, we could clearly see that.
Democracy will not last much longer, either by force or by just by virtue of us recognizing that this ain't make no sense. Jade, I have the same voting power, right? And I don't want to call anybody in particular, but we know there are, for instance, some mentally ill persons moving around who sleep on the side of the road and like don't bathe and so. My vote count the same as them, you know?
Yeah.
And people think that they make sense.
Well,
one voter man, why?
because that's their constitutional right, friend. That is their constitutional right.
Yeah, we know it don't make sense. It's just the best that we have right now.
What we gonna do?
Yeah, and I believe, I have hope in the human species that we'll at least come up with something that's a little better.
Well, global warming might take us out before that happen. So,
Oh,
global warming set to break key 1.5 C limit for first time.
Since I was in high school, they're talking about these points at which there's no return for us. I believe we done pass about 9 out of 10 of them. This might be the last one.
This is the final
We
shot.
done pass everything. Hey guys,
We've had famine,
if greenhouse
floods,
gases pass among such and such,
pandemics. Listen, wars.
Jade, I am telling you, since I'm in school, we had people from different government agencies coming to us. I remember being in the auditorium, Bass High School auditorium.
No idea, man.
God rest his soul.
Who that?
The Bass High School auditorium. I remember sitting down in
You're
there.
ridiculous, man. You know?
I remember sitting down in there. And I remember the woman. She was a woman, had a very short cut, right?
the best.
Jade,
The auditorium then.
Jade, the woman stood on the stage, right? She had on a yellow and green outfit. I remember it good because that's the first time I remember hearing about, what did I call it? SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. At this time, globalization was a thing. That was a hot word at the time, globalization, right? And then she started talking about global warming. And she told us that if we don't meet certain goals within the next 5 years, right? And she started listing out a bunch of metrics that if we go past here, well, it's over for us. But we pass all.
Long time, friend.
We pass all.
Long
If
time.
I show up, one of the dates was 2023, and if we don't do something by 2023, then it's over. Well, I could bet you we ain't do it. Yeah?
No.
I could bet you we ain't do it, Jade. So it's like we just waiting for the end now.
Well, our overheating world is likely to break a key temperature limit for the first time over the next few years.
Everything is a limit. And we don't just go, oh, you're gonna put limits on us as humans?
Can't do that.
We're limitless.
Can't do that.
Limitless. I don't even know if to believe these things anymore. Yeah.
We're going to find out, isn't it?
Me? Probably with grandchildren.
Somebody going to find out.
When they're walking around in mass, mandatory, and not because nobody put it not because nobody put it in a law. Like, you ain't gonna be in a mass, you're just going dead. So
when outside, it's so potent. Wild. Researchers say that there's now a 66% chance we will pass the 1.5 Celsius global warming threshold between now and 2027.
that's a sexy pass there.
Azem,
That's a sexy pass there.
hold on. No, and 2020. You're talking about grandchildren. Azem, 2027 next week, yeah? You're talking about grandchildren. We are a nice old friend. We're about to dead. What the hell?
Jade, they just keep moving the limit, Jade. You cannot tell me these people don't just be moving the limit. The
Look at
limit.
them say 2027.
I tell you.
Oh, you're crazy. No bad.
Jade,
May believe you.
Jade,
May believe you.
These people, I don't.
2027?
How they realize that there's nothing they can tell us or that we can do that will stop us from impending.
No, we're going
doom.
to crash this. We're definitely going to crash this.
People not care.
We shall crash this, Azem.
As the young man said, very, very eloquently, they don't hear.
We're going to be the first planet to jump out the universe.
Aliens can just come and just put yellow tape around Earth and just say condemned. Condemned. I don't understand, Jade.
Bye. The chances are rising due to emissions from human activities. Duh. Duh, sir. I couldn't tell that.
The lady mosquito them.
Any monkeys, any mosquitoes buys us. It is us as
We got a whole dragon up like amigo, and then the dragon raising the heat is us. How
we so terrible that we rise the heat at the planet?
You know what we just say? It's all your sins.
It's all your sins.
It's all your sins.
What am I calling video for? What am I calling video for?
Apparently you're very sinful.
Apparently.
Yeah, but it's fun. Okay, y'all hear that, right? Yeah.
Bye, reacting to what you said. You hear
Y'all
it's
hear
fun.
that? Y'all hear that?
You hear it's fun. Meanwhile, the scientists them telling us that we got till 2027. But they said a joke. But we got that.
Jade, I'm telling you, they've been telling. Jade, we've constantly been pushing past these limits. We've constantly been pushing past these limits here. That limit is a new limit here. That was set in maybe 2020 here. They had a limit before that.
There's a bright side. There's a silver lining.
What happened? El Nino is back? Let me understand. Like.
If the world passes the limit, scientists stress the breach, while worrying, will likely be temporary. So we're only going to cook for a while.
Jay, the problem I have, right, is that I know how hot it feels now, you know?
Okay.
And if you're telling me it is obviously going to get hotter, well, what am I going to feel like?
I don't know about heat in 2027. I think it's hot now.
I'm moving to Alaska because at least by that time...
No, that it's going to melt, friend.
But that's what I'm saying. By the time I get to Alaska in 2027, I might be able to just walk out in just how I be now. Maybe comfortable.
Sure.
Maybe a light jacket. I like light jackets.
Yeah. Something small.
I can tell you something. I like wearing crew-neck sweaters and hoodies. My hoodie them just in the closet, can't wear.
As if you want, I watch you, right? Let me tell you something. Anytime I see people in hoodies, I literally think they're mentally ill. Like when I see people in hoodies right now, remember a couple of weeks ago I went to an event in Sadler's and I saw people down there in hoodies as in...
The Sadler's cool for sure. But it might be a bit overkill. But if it's one place you're going to wear a hoodie, it might be Sadler's.
I was sweating. I was sweating and they had on a clothes. And I was sweating.
Yeah, this is a family show. What are you talking about?
I had on enough clothes.
She said she was sweating and she had on her clothes.
I had on enough.
What kind of idea, man?
I had on enough to be sweating.
What kind of idea, man? The Kingston's them just can't. The Kingston.
The lawyers them send a message in the chat about.
The lawyers them not messaging. You see that?
The liars them could stop the feet? No, those messages.
But I can tell you how crazy it is, Jade. And you may or may not believe this, but I'm telling you, it's true.
What?
I've actually been considering wearing t-shirts.
Wow.
I've actually been considering adding t-shirts to my closet, to my wardrobe.
The world again.
Yeah, Jade.
You see? You see why I reach?
Yesterday, I did a Google search. If you think it's a lie, I show you come up in my Google history.
You looked up.
Look.
You looked up sweaters? You looked up t-shirts, sorry?
What? Why are they showing me trending searches? Me, what's the trending? I want to see my searches. Anyway. See? Best polo shirts for men. Like, yesterday. The camera gone off now?
The world ended. The world ended.
Yeah, but God, can we still be able to hear us?
Yeah. I tell all the world ended and things just a malfunction all around us. And we're paying attention. We're not paying attention, Azem. That's the problem, you know? We're not paying attention.
I am known for not owning t-shirts, Jade.
I can't tell you.
People can start to see me in t-shirts, Jade.
No, it's real
and by
out
2027, I probably can just free the nipples, Jade, because I don't understand. I thought
I just said this was a family show.
Jade, I think by time 2027 hits, that they're going to be what is called PG. By that time, because...
Yeah, because clothes ain't gonna make no sense. The word is whether... Azem, the what is what I'm going, right? Bye. Bye, let me go home, yeah? Let me go home.
No.
I think I just depressed myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me go. You know what I'm going to do? I haven't done this in a while. I'm
What?
going to do this. I'm going to log on to the chat here. Forever 21.
Why you do that? Why you do that? I have to send a very special shout out to somebody. I know you haven't been shouting people out.
I shout out about this
No,
morning.
but I'll do it.
Oh, I did have a plan to shout out people, but this morning just started off like, can I hear what you?
Tell the world ending. But congratulations to Lingetti Hendrickson for graduating with an associate of science in music production.
Really?
Come, Lordy, too.
Big up
Listen.
Getty, what do you nickname me again?
Getty.
Hey, big up. I love seeing our people from here, like not only just graduate, but also when they graduate in some of these unorthodox, more unorthodox fields. I keep asking the question, how much more lives we need?
Listen.
No, seriously, is there a figure? Like,
It's okay. We're good. I think we're good.
Well, I mean,
How much more lives we need, seriously?
I think we should reach the threshold. So.
It got to be a max. There has to be a max. Like, it can't just be another one.
but we understand that the lies of transitionary role, from law to politician.
Ah, you're right.
True. It's a stepping stone. Well, somebody here saying, please, however, do consider those 5-inch inseam shots. Bye.
Okay, let me tell y'all something right now.
What are we going to have with you, man?
Let me tell y'all something right now. Witty.
What you want? The man them out here dressed like a slut on the show.
Witty for you, sure. But in general, right? My maximum is actually 8-inch in public. I have a nice Gap pants that is a pastel color. That when I wear it, sometimes I feel
naked? What?
almost
Lee?
naked. Yeah, and it's,
Okay.
no. But it's thing. No.
Hot thing.
No.
Hot thing.
No.
Next time that come out,
That's why I love the Kingsters. Yeah, the Kingsters doesn't know.
See the measurement.
The Kingsters doesn't know what's going on.
The man said the fancy and the thing there. You go come out.
No, you can't. No, there's a problem.
They're the liars.
There's a problem, Jade. There's a problem.
It's 5-inch, she said.
5-inch, she said,
She
Jade.
want as a flash out.
That there's a problem, Jade. That there's a problem.
Look how
A five.
My back so outside.
Imagine your back's so longer than your pants. Your back's so longer.
No, we can't have that. Wait till this is a family show, we can't have that.
Imagine your back's so longer than your pants. That's the most horrible image. I probably never.
Come in here, your hoochie shots.
Hoochie Papa.
Looking like a whole slut. No, we can't have that.
Hoochie Dad.
Can't have that. Family show,
Daddy.
can't have that.
Family show.
Eh?
If you really can't show the knees, then
No buy. That's what they meant.
That's like telling Jay come in here and a sundress.
She love problems.
Yeah, she like problem. She said Hoochie daddy summer. Hoochie daddy summer.
Jade will say that.
I'm ignoring you. Did you realize?
Jade in a sundress, put it in the comments.
Let me wrap up, show.
Oh boy.
Jade
Hey.
in a sundress, put it in the comments.
Let me wrap up, show. Immediately.
5-inch shots are crazy though. They're like they're like 1 inch longer than a speedo.
Right? Actually,
That's a speedo there.
Yeah, man, I wish I did that. But
Witty
Witty
might
bad.
have her best interests at heart, definitely not mine.
not that's all.
But guys, it has been a fun day.
Of course.
A fun day. But then, that's the name of the show today, you know.
Hoochie daddy summer?
Hoochie Daddy Summer.
Let me write that down.
Oh, but we are terrible. But we gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disembark, guys. I had a great time. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this show. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. Just tell somebody that we here.
Yeah, tell somebody to tell somebody.
You see the numbers going up, yeah, sharing with your friends. Thank you so much. Continue doing that. Each one, tell one.
Each one tell one, yes.
Each one, tell one. Like, seriously though, the support from you guys is what we need to continue to grow the platform, grow the show, for us to be able to achieve some of the things that we're looking to achieve. So please, guys.
Can't do it without you.
Yeah, for sure. And trust me, it's always fully appreciated, the support. And when you guys come to us and hail us and thing, abuse us and so like, we love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kings will tell me, he get abused up there. Oh, bye.
What abuse you for, friend?
But we talk about that at management meeting.
Oh, it was bad. It was that bad. Okay, let me go. Let me talk about this quick.
No, man, it ain't a bad, man. But guys, please remember, guys, to spend more time and living your content than posting it.
Please.
All right? Please also remember, contrary to the suggestions of Witty to dress appropriately.
Please.
I personally am begging you. Yeah, we don't really want too much Hoochie daddies running around.
Hoochie daddy summer.
Jade in a suggestion.
I tell you, I'm
going to have Jade Stallion by.
Hey, me say it, eh?
Oh, man.
Hey, me say it.
Oh, bye. But yes, guys, and of course, most importantly, remember you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. We're going to see you guys